Hey guys, it's MVG, and Sora from Kingdom Hearts is finally in Super Smash Bros. Ultimate, the character that I've totally been calling, and Double didn't agree with me. That was going to be the last DLC character, because obviously he was at the top of all the polls, but everyone's like, no, Dizzy wouldn't let it, and I was like, yes, he's going to be in! The swordsman character who uses a Keyblade, the blade that's pretty much the least deadly-looking weapon ever, because it doesn't look sharp at all. But he uses it, and he wields it, and he just defeats everybody. And he's going to defeat everybody in this game, or will he? We'll find out as I break down his moves. But before I break down his moves, please take 5 seconds of your time. No, not even. It'll take 2 seconds to click subscribe and click the bell icon right next to subscribe. And like the video and comment while you're at it to help the YouTube algorithm. Thank you very much in advance. But yeah, for real though, jokes aside, please consider doing that because I'm going to have a lot more content both on Nickelodeon as well as Smash Ultimate in the future videos. So yeah, and Metafy. Check that out in YouTube description. With that said, I'm going to get right into it, starting with his regular attacks. I'm going to go over each move, frame data, thoughts, and so on. So I'm going to start with his regular attacks. So his regular attack, his A button, is a jab. It's an overhead hit. It starts on frame 5. I was wrong when I said 6 earlier. It's actually a frame 5 overhead jab. It's pretty much so what you see is what you get. It actually goes pretty high. I don't know if it hits on this platform. It had okay, yeah, see, it actually can hit on this platform. So just to show the height, you wouldn't expect that. That's why I showed this example. It actually hits here on frame 5. So, yeah, it's a straightforward attack. 3-hit combo. 3-hit combo. It does about 12 damage, so yeah. Well, wait, do I have stimuls on? Yeah, okay. So it's a 12 damage jab. It's pretty much what you see is what you get. So now to talk about his tilts. That is his fastest attack, of course. His next fastest is this frame 7 grab, I believe. But yeah. So his next tilt is forward tilt. This was his forward tilt. That's the regular hit, and here's if you hold it. If I hold the C-stick forward, 1, 2, 3. It does double the damage, but it might not necessarily be better for killing. So let me show what you can do. This comes out on frame 13, by the way. So let's see what happens if I get Miffer to say like 100 damage. You know, like a decent kill percent. If I do this, it sends at this angle, which can pretty much be perfect for like barely killing or not, like for recovery. And this is what it would be if it was like the triple hit. See, it's not even necessarily stronger. It's basically like the same amount of power. Although the thing is, it'll probably be weaker because your opponent's going to be not caught off guard. They have more time to do it. So it's like a trade-off. You get more damage, whereas this is one stronger single hit. Hard to say which one's quite better. I'm leaning toward the single hit for now if you're trying to kill there, but, you know, this one does a lot more damage. But yeah, this is pretty much, this could be good for catching like a ledge stand. Like, watch. Like that, see? All I do is look for a change in movements, and then you press the C-stick. It's kind of like how Sephiroth does that, except Sephiroth is active frame 14 through 16. His has a lot less reach, but it comes out 1 frame sooner. Could be useful in that type of situation. Yeah, so that's what I'm thinking there. Or you just want to hit him sideways. You know, it's 1, 2, 3, or just a single hit. So yeah. And next, I'll talk about the up tilts. Here's his up tilt. Now, you might be thinking, okay, spins it there, but let me show you something interesting real quick. So if I slow it down, just to show, so you can see when it starts, watch this. This is where you actually get hit. This is frame 8. You actually get hit over here, as I showed it earlier, before it spins. And it's spinning for quite a long time. So, like, you could clearly see it's a hitbox, and then, bam, you could shield. Now, I also want to mention that this move actually combos at the low damages, so I'm going to, like, just pick some low damage. Let's just pick, like, 30% real quick, just to show that it can combo. Let me go normal mode real quick. All right. Oops. Let's try this again. See? As you can see, that's a training mode true combo. Might not look like it, but it was. So let's say like 0 to 40, 0 to 50, something like that. It can combo. Of course, that's with no DI. But yeah, it's pretty much good for the low percent combos. And it's actually not too bad. Like normally you would think about up airs for frame traps and stuff. And most situations you'd be right, but I think this might have its place too, you know? It's a pretty decent move. Now, what in my opinion is his best tilt overall is down tilt. So here's his down tilt. It is the same speed as Pyra's down tilt. I believe it's frame 9. So it's pretty much gives like Pyra's down tilt, just maybe, yeah. Just think of this as Pyra's down tilt, except it's better. Why is it better? Well, check this out. Well, you might be saying, oh, MVG, that didn't even training mode combo. So let's try it again. All right, that didn't either. So surely it's not going to kill combo at like 100. It killed combat at 100. So if your opponent's at 100%, it's actually just going to kill combo you. It's been found that there's an extra 4 frames of hit stun added to what you would expect the move to have. They actually coded this to have 4 frames extra hit stun compared to the regular move programming, just to make sure that this combos into other things. So they went out of their way to make sure that this combos. So whether it's going to be something that's like, for example, that it might not show a combo on like the combo counter, but it's more stun than you'd normally expect. Which means if you hit this move, you can expect to either combo or frame trap them pretty much all the time. And of course, when you get these percents, you just go for the up smash. And keep in mind, training mode combo, it might not doesn't necessarily have to be a training mode combo. But look, what's 94? Let's see, just maybe. Oh, it didn't training mode combo, but remember, some characters, their fastest escape option might not be good enough. Like Bowser's air dodge doesn't come out to like frame 4, whereas Mithra's foresight comes out in frame 2. It varies a little bit on the character. So just wanted to mention that. So I think in review, jab, fast move. F-tilt, good for catching like a ledge stand or something, or just hitting people sideways. All 3 hits or single hit can both be useful. Up tilt starts pretty quick, and it lingers quite a bit and not much stun. Also combos at low damage, and this combos at every percent. Very good into the up smash, around 100 damage. So that's the review of those moves. So with that said, let's talk about another quick move. But I mentioned grab was frame 7, but another frame 7 move, dash attack. So this move actually hits lower. So it's kind of. Wait, no, I can actually show this. If I put the computer on control, they won't neutral get up, so I can show this. So a move like this will miss, but if I dash attack, it'll actually hit. And as you can see, it sends at a good angle. So you can think kind of like a Mario dash attack. You know how like Mario likes to dash attack. You can even do like what Dark Wizzy does. You dash attack here, and then like if it doesn't work out, you just like go for a Trump bear, something like that. I think something like that could be a good tactic. Like the plan A is to go for this, and the plan B is to kind of go for that with his frame 13 bear, which I'll talk about later. First, I'm going to get into the smash attacks though. So I'll talk about the smash attacks. So I'll start with the standard one, forward smash. This is a frame 16 forward smash, and it does some pretty good damage. It sends pretty far, too. It's pretty decent in power and sends at a low angle. See, like, the angle it sends at is perfect to complement Sora's really good edge guarding. And apparently it lingers for a while. You can't, of course, I'm just going to wait till hitboxes come out to see how long moves linger, and I'm going to make another video on frame data and hitboxes in detail when that is more publicly available in detail. But for now, this move lingers a bit, comes out frame 16, sends at a low angle, and has respectable power. What you see is what you get. A pretty straightforward F smash. Not bad at all, though. Simple doesn't mean bad. Then I'll talk about the up smash. This is his up smash. This move is actually really good. To show, it actually kind of like how his up tilt scoops you. Check this out. Frame 11. Frame 11, that's really fast for a smash attack. That's only 1 frame slower than, like, Joker's up smash, I believe. I think Joker's is frame 10, his is 11. So it scoops you up here, and then hits to here. And it has some, as you already saw in the Sakurai presentation, it has good range. It's just a pretty much do-it-all move. Like, it's just a solid move all across the board. So this could just being that fast and comboing from down tilt makes this a strong option for Sora. So let's see, like 90, bam. Not quite, I staled it a bit, but you got the idea. Just get him to 100, down tilt him, And then you have this move. It's the down smash. It's a little interesting. Let's talk about that real quick. So I think I have invincibility turned on. Yeah, I do. So here's why. That might matter. So 1, 2. Now watch. He's gonna get blue. 3, 4, 5, 6. Now his legs are eventually gonna get blue. 7, 8, 9, 10. And then it stops the blue. That shows invincibility. Basically, from frame 3 to 10, whether full body or lower body around the legs, they gave him invincibility or intangibility where he can't be hurt. They said they designed this to jump over moves, but they wanted to make sure it absolutely worked as intended, kind of like how they gave Kazuya invincibility on a lot of his stuff. They did the same thing with Sora from frames 3 through 10 to make sure you couldn't hit him down low. So it would indeed jump over moves. Now, it doesn't come out that fast. In fact, it doesn't come out to frame 20. The total time's not too bad, though. But it really does serve its purpose to jump over moves. I don't know exactly when that's the best competitively, for example. But, I mean, if you do know that they're going to hit with a low move, you can indeed consistently go over it, thanks to the invincibility in addition to the hot. So, yeah, it does serve its purpose. And when it hits, it sends at a pretty good angle. So, like, it's pretty good. It's pretty good upon hit. See, it sends at that really low angle, so it's nice when it actually connects. So, yeah, very niche purpose. But, yeah, a bunch of solid moves across the board so far. So now to talk about, oh, yeah, I mentioned that this is a 1, 2, 3, and this is a 1, and this is a 1, 2, 3. So let's talk about another 1, 2, 3 with his air attacks. I'll start off with the Nair. This is his neutral air. It starts, I believe this is frame 8 overhead. So let's just to look at it to see when it really begins. So this is where it actually begins, around frame 8. It's an overhead hit. I think it's a pretty solid move. Basically, if you hold the A button, it does up to 3 slashes. So as you can see, 15 damage. Not too bad. You could also push them. Now, the interesting thing is when you actually look at the animation of his Nair and his Fair, you could see how the first hit, this is his Nair, and this is his Fair. You could see these are totally different moves, right? But check out the second and third hits. Okay, so 1, 2, 3. Now watch this. 1, 2, 3. Don't they look the same? They do look the same, and the damage is pretty much the same. However, the angle it sends is not the same. So basically, you know how I just showed how the Nair has a 1, 2, 3 hit? It starts off this circle. It's a nice little circle. I mean, like, it's not too committal. See? Oh, by the way, it's hard to show against without showing two controllers. But you see how I bounce when I hit? Well, you also bounce when they shield. So upon wherever I hit Mythra, or wherever Mythra shields, this same bounce will occur. So theoretically, I could just do a jump Nair and then fade back and try to confirm if I hit or not. And then I'm always going to do that bounce. And then as long as I do the bounce, I could get all 3 hits. Because it already almost gets 3 from a short hop. But if I do this, even if I miss the rest... Actually, do I get that? Yeah, well, it's easy to get 3 hits when you get the when you get the little bounce. It's the same with the Fair. You get the little bounce. But yeah. Now let me show you something interesting here. So let's get the damage a little higher, just to show, like, let's just say, like, I don't know, like 80% or something. Let's just 70. Okay, so check this out. I'm gonna only hit the third hit just to show you something. Oops. Okay, I'm amazing. All right, so let's try again. See how that's sent at that angle? It's a little bit higher, a little higher than a 45-degree angle. All right, so let's do the same third hit with the forward air, just to show something. See how that's sent sideways? Even though it's the same looking third slash with the same damage. See, it was like 8.5. It was like the same damage, the same slash, same everything, but upon hit, it functions differently. And so it's interesting that I tested that out. You wouldn't expect that, but it is. So they really wanted to make sure that they function differently. I already talked about Nair a lot, and I talked about the remaining hits of Fair, but just to talk about the first hit of Fair, Fair is a frame 10 overhead hit. Kind of like how Nair was a frame 8 overhead hit. Fair is a little bit low, is a little bit slower. It actually does hit higher. It's hard to show from this particular point, but Fair actually does, like this actually hits a little bit higher than this. Kind of like gives it kind of like a melee, a slower melee Marth Fair, well, a lot slower actually, but similar. So this is actually perfect for the edge guards for 2 reasons. First, it hits a little bit higher, so it's perfect for getting underneath people. But the main reason is because the third hit sends them sideways. Obviously, you want to hit them. Obviously, sorry, it's kind of weird about holding L. Obviously, you want to hit them to the side like that rather than the upward angle. So not only is this a good, like, you know, slightly higher hit would be nice, but the main reason you would use Fair over Nair for the edge guarding is mainly because you want that to send them sideways. See, if that hit upwards, if I had done the Nair third hit, Mythra would have survived easily because of the good recovery. Now, I do want to mention that on stage, you know, with Nair being 2 frames faster and all, you know, Nair being 2 frames faster, it is more practical just for racking up damage. So if you're on stage and it doesn't really matter, you might as well take the Nair, you know, for the quicker 2 damage. But it is nice to know, hey, here's the facts. The Fair third hit is just so much better. So I did want to explain that real quick because I feel like that might not be straight up obvious. You have to, like, specifically test that in order to know that. So yeah. I think this Fair, though, so it doesn't, like, on Mythra, it might not combo here. Right there it worked, but watch. If I get her, like, at lower percent, I don't know if it would work at 70. I know at 0, like, I was testing this on Mythra at 0. And yes, yeah, like that. She falls under it. If I do the Nair, it sends higher. See, look. Well, I'm gonna jump Nair. Watch. 1, 2, 3. And see how she kept going higher? Now I'm gonna do the same thing if short hop Fair. I'm gonna hold Fair. It's not always working as easily. Well, it's kind of easy at 70. Let me just go back to 0 to make it a little more obvious. Let's bring it to 0 just so you could see it a little easier. Like at the edge, I might Fair. See how it doesn't always work? But like this will easily hit high. So they really intended Nair not only to be 2 frames faster, but to be the combo move for low percent. So this is more proof that Nair is really good at the low percents when you're just trying to rack up damage, and the Fair is kind of like for finishing them off from this side. They really these little details, you know, the differences between them, it's nice to know. So I wanted to show some examples of where I think like Nair triumphs over Fair and Fair triumphs over the Nair. So with those moves out of the way, I showed all 4 of the moves. Like the jab has 3 hits. You pretty much always want to do it. Oh, by the way, you can cancel this early, like 1-2 and then cancel. But if I do like jab 1-2 and I hold shield, and Mithra will shield way before I shield. So I would never actually on purpose cancel 1-2 and wait. It's not like how you cancel Cloud Side B and wait in terms of like frame advantage and stuff. It's not really a mix-up in my personal opinion, and maybe I'm wrong, but it doesn't really feel very good. Like as a mix-up, it just feels kind of bad on the ground. I feel like if you hit the first 2 and you know you hit them, you can continue. The only reason you wouldn't finish all 3 is because, hey, maybe I'm not sure if it connected or not. Then you might stop just because you're not sure. But if you're 100% sure you connected, just finish the combo on the ground. Probably the same for the air. Air is a little more complicated because you don't have a frame 1 shield. But yeah, just wanted to give that info. I know it's a big info dump, but I felt like this is some useful info. Let's talk about some up air now. Here's the up air. I'll do full hop for the full damage. This is 15 damage up air. It's pretty strong. It's pretty decent at killing. Usually kills around like 120, for example. If you have the landing lag on it, it has like 10 frames landing lag. It feels pretty decent. I mean, it's not like extremely broken, but it's not bad either. It's pretty much just what you see is what you get. You get the job done, you know. One use for it that I think could be interesting, like if you hit them like way above you. It's kind of hard to show. It'd be easier if I had a floaty character, but let's say I hit her up here. I might jump here, and then like in a match, see how I was floating under Mithra? There was a point that I was right here, and Mithra was like over here. In a match, if I'm floating here, and they're floating here, and I position myself here early, I threaten the possibility of doing a double jump aerial, right? So they have to be scared of my positioning. So I think the way Sora jumps, see how Sora jumps and then it's a low double jump, but he's like, he can't really chase you up there quickly, but kind of how Mewtwo can like float under you and like threaten possibilities. He could jump at you and then threaten the possibility of, hey, I might do this, but I could just wait for you to press a button or just wait a certain period of time and then attack. For example, I jump at someone, they get scared, they air dodge, I double jump fair. I jump at someone, they get scared and they match their falling Mithra falling Nair or something, I double jump fair. It'd be easier if this Mithra was a pyro, but just to show, like, I was like, if you're fighting like a Lucina or someone floaty, you float under them, jump, they do panic move, and then you double jump attack. You don't do this right away. I mean, you can as a mix-up, just to keep them guessing. But a lot of the time you jump, they wait, they do that little panic option right away, because you know, as soon as they're threatened, they might do a panic option, whether it's aerial, air dodge, or whatever. Then you do a double jump attack. Then you could create like unreactable 50-50s. I think Sora's very good at these unreactable 50-50s. So, mainly because he doesn't jump fast, but he floats under them. He's always threatening. So while floating under somebody, you're threatening them. So you can keep floating under them. And see what? If I jump here, see, I can still do the air from low. So if Mithra, I might up throw, wait for them to panic, and then double jump up air, and that almost KO'd. So usually this kills around like 120. It's not broken, but it's respectable. It's pretty decent in power. And if you do rising, it still hits the tall characters. So yeah, it's a pretty respectable up air. I think it's solid. It's not broken, but it's not bad. They definitely did some good balancing with this. He says a frame 10 up air. I like the move. I think it's pretty good. And I think the same concept where you jump at somebody, wait for them to panic, air dodge or whatever, then you do 3 hits. I think that can work well with both double jump fair, float under them. You could do like this, and then they panic, and you double jump fair. You could do this with the double jump fairs. You can do this, and then they panic. But if you know they're not panicking, then you could just go at them aggressively. And then you could do stuff like that, which also kills them early. So you could just take risks and like, oh, well, I'll do that. And then, oh, I missed, whatever, I'll just do mix-ups to land or whatever. So you could create 50-50s and stuff with him based on how you think they're adapting or not adapting. So some complicated competitive stuff, but, you know, I'm a nerd, so that's how it goes. Oh, yeah, well, I'll talk about throw combos later. I did want to mention how the throws actually complement the Nair and up air, but I think I'm going to save that for when I get to the grabs. So to continue with the aerials, I'm going to talk about back air Nair. Back air is very straightforward. It's simply a frame 13 back air. Frame 13 back air. Pretty decent power. Sends sideways. Wow, first time I saw it trip. It's also pretty decent from a ledge jump, so like they grab ledge. And since you dip low, you have an even higher chance to hit. Sends it a low angle. I think he could do like this thing where he like goes for that, and then trump, and then, well, not like that, but like you do that, and if it misses, You go for like the Trump bear. I'm not very good at, but I feel like it's not like super broken or anything, but it's not bad. And it sends sideways, and it's really good that it sends sideways because it sends at low angles, which is very good for its edge guarding. Now I want to talk about a move that a lot of people are probably going to underrate, but I think is actually pretty good to complement his kit specifically. Like, the reason this move is good is because it complements Sora's kit. And that's my opinion right now. And that move is down air. This is a frame 15 move. However, if you get them off stage and you just do that, now obviously Mithra can recover at this percent, but like, if let's say the percent was higher and she was at like 50, you could just get under, do that, and see how you can recover not long after the sword ends. You could even do something like this, like watch. And then easily recover. Look, I barely need the second thing. I didn't even need nearly all my resources. By doing this right away, I just double jump up B. I only need this 2 slashes. I didn't even need my 3rd slash to get up there. That's how good his recovery is. But at any point, you could just be like, yo, and then you could literally just recover. Well, not there. Okay, I didn't have to go there. All right, one sec, just to show. If I use my double jump and then up B and then side B, you see how you can easily always come back. Last time I didn't use my double jump because I'm dumb. But yeah, so that's why I think this downer, even though it might not seem the best on stage, although it can mix up, so it's not useless, like it can mix up. The real purpose is the fact that it covers options and edge guards. It sends at a low angle, just like a lot of your moves. Obviously, like Mithra won't die there because the percent's so low. But like there will be a lot of situations where I do think that like getting him off stage, threatening this. Obviously, that one's like a little easy, but you don't have to use it in a standard way. You could like do that and just wait and delay it. It's like you have options to edge guard different types of characters in different situations. Which is good because his down tilt actually doesn't hit the ledge. Even if you're hanging on the ledge, his down tilt will not hit you, at least not on the characters I've tested against. So you can't really 2-frame like that. He's a character who wants to go off stage. He doesn't really 2-frame very easily, but he does edge guard very easily. So that's important to note on the character. So that's pretty much all his aerials. Down is obviously the slowest, but as I said, I think it complements the kit pretty nicely. Speaking of the kit, let's talk about I'll talk about his grabs first. I'll talk about his grabs and then get right into the special moves, since the grabs actually go hand in hand with the aerials. So his grab, his forward throw is pretty straightforward. It just goes to the side, pretty straightforward. Just get away, you know. Now the back throw is pretty darn good. This move really strong, 14.8 damage, and if you grab it like I don't know, like low hundreds, like let's just show the power. Now this is obviously going to be without DI, but I'll move a bit away from this stage just to show what no DI. Obviously, I'll move away from here just to compensate for the fact that they're not going to DI. So it's pretty good. Now, if that was like 140, I'll move a bit away from the edge just to compensate for lack of DI. See, it's pretty strong. And it sends at a low angle. So even at the low percents or high percents, whether it's damage, whether it's the angle, or whether it's killing, it's pretty respectable. You know, I didn't expect Sora to even have a throw that was going to kill like this. I mean, Sephiroth doesn't, Cloud doesn't. But Sora does, which is pretty nice. I mean, that's a good tool to have. You could back throw at the ledge, just get him off stage, whatever. It's nice to have. His up throw can also kill, but it's not nearly as good as you can see. In fact, I want to talk about up throw. I actually, after testing this move, I find it pretty underwhelming, actually. I thought it was going to be good, like maybe like a Mithra up throw where you can actually frame trap and stuff. But like, it doesn't ever true combo, and I can't, like, if you just down throw, you can pretty much always get a combo. See, look, that. And you could like shield grab, get up, down throw fair right away. I didn't get it there, but just to show you, let's just pick some random mid percent. Let's just get some mid percent. I guess it depends on the character because I was doing this on like Pyre and Lucy. I was doing this on other characters and it was showing a training mode combo. But just to show, let's show what happens at like let's say I don't know 110. I can kill combo on training mode at like around 110. See right there, it's a training mode combo, which means that was a true hit stun combo, and that was a 110, and it's still killed. And at the lower percents, unless you have a super fast air dodge and/or I do it bad, on miss DI or DI in, it will still combo, even regardless of what a training mode counter says. So I just wanted to show that could be a thing. So if you grab like right here, they're not going to DI away, and then you get like a guaranteed up air, and at lower percents, they're pretty much bread and butter. You always want to down throw fair almost all the time, in my opinion. I mean, there might be other things like. Depending on the situation, like there might be other things. I haven't really explored too much, but I think down throw fair is like a staple bread and butter. It barely works, but it's good enough that it does work consistently. So that's my thoughts on that. So I think the down throw is going to be used a lot for the combos, kill confirm. Well, maybe kill confirms. Depends how good that ends up being on the low ceiling stages. And the back throw is really good. So back throw and down throw, you're kind of your two main throws for back throw for killing and the down throw for the combos it gives. So if that out of the way, I already talked to the dash attack and other moves. We'll go straight into taunts. Just kidding. No, I'm going to go straight into the special moves now. So I'm just going to call it fire, even though it's called Firaga. Or I feel like someone's going to make fun of me on YouTube comments. Anyway, so this is a frame 15 move. The fire and ice are both frame 15. I think the total time's like 36 or something. But here's the three moves. So this is fire. Oh, by the way, if you keep mashing fire, specifically fire, it's going to keep going. Watch, if I mash thunder, I go straight to ice. If I mash ice, I go straight to fire. But if I mash fire, then it stays on this. And look, this is the exact range. If I'm any closer, it's going to hit. It doesn't do that much damage, though, because look, if I do it, it's 7 damage. And then for this, well, I'm going to keep focused on fire for now. So just to talk about fire, the total, it's like a fast projectile. Think of Wolf's laser, but imagine it comes out fat. Imagine like a Wolf laser, but it has less range and damage. And, the gun. It's basically a worse version of Wolf's laser. However, it could be considered better in certain ways in the sense that, like, the total time of the move isn't a lot. So watch. I'll do fire. And look, see, I'm not committed to that for too long. So I guess you could say it's like a more balanced version of Wolf's laser. That's like the vibe I get. Like, it's not the same damage. The gun's not going to hurt, but yeah. And of course, you got to mention it. Online, of course, the fire is probably going to be buffed because, projectiles online. You know how it is. And, Sakurai showed some examples where people are doing, like, fire, and then, you could go in right after it, for example. I think going in after thunder could be actually pretty good, too. Yeah, fire, pretty straightforward. You're probably going to see it a lot online. Just use it from a distance. Goes about half the stage, just to show the exact distance. If I was to shoot it right here, it goes exactly half of FD. So, and this is basically an FD type stage. I'm going to talk about this stage more in a separate stage video, by the way. So, now to talk about Thunder, or Thundaga. This move's really interesting. This move takes twice as long to come out. It takes about half a second to come out, but it does 3 hits. And watch, you could shield just after the 3rd hit starts. I can actually hold shield. Now, interestingly enough, if I do it in the air, it's going to be closer together. Now, that could be considered a good thing and a bad thing because, like, yeah, I could theoretically do this off stage and then be like, well, look, well, first off, let's see what it looks like. Let's see how low it goes real quick. As you can see, it actually, at least the first hit, because the Thunders, as you can see, the way they're positioned, just so you understand, the Thunders are designed to combo into each other. So kind of like this. Oh, well, Mithra is skinny. So let's try it again. They're designed to combo into each other. It's basically the same Thunder, but they're moved a little up and upright. So in this situation, there'll be the first Thunder, and then like a 45-degree upright, or up and to the right of it is the next one, and then up and right to the next one. Kind of like a ladder. It's kind of like a staircase. It's the same Thunder. It's just positioned in a new area. So like this. And then that would either barely kill or barely not kill. In this situation, she barely lived. But it also sends at a nice angle. And I do think that this is going to be useful in his kit because there will be characters that, like, okay, you can't 2-frame them, but the Thunder is going to go below the stage. Now, just to show it off again, now you can see the full Thunder. See, you saw how the 3rd one vanished around this spot, but the other one vanished around here. So that's because of the way the 3 Thunders are. I could show it again from a platform here, so just so you can see the whole thing. Now. All right. It goes pretty darn low, actually. Just to show an example of forward throwing off and then doing Thunder. Oh my god, she's so skinny, she gets around it. So I guess skinny characters can just randomly get around it. But I do think this is going to have use because it goes below the stage and all 3 hits combo to each other. So if you get them off stage at, like, I don't know, like 120 or something and it's Thunder, if one hit hits and they're like a bigger body, it's probably going to combo on all 3. A lot of situations I would float under them, threaten instant fair with, like, double jump fairs, do this if they're going lower, threaten up B mix-ups if they're going higher. I'll talk about up B in a second, but that's some of the standards for Thunder. I think Thunder is going to be a good edge guard tool. Now, I do want to show another thing. Of course, you could B-reverse all these, but remember how I mentioned the Thunder in the air was a little closer together, but you could also B-reverse it. So if you combine B-reverse and the fact that they're closer... Whoops, I'm so bad. Okay. and you can go in right after it. See how I kind of like chased in after that? There have been situations I got like true like 0 to 30 something combos off to like the B reverse thunder and just going in right after. So and then you have Blizzaga, which I think is good in the sense that it lingers for over. It still comes out on frame 15 like Fire, Fireaga, but it's gonna linger in place for quite a while. So it's gonna linger for like more than 20 frames or so, like easily more than 20 frames. So towards almost the whole move. So just to see it here, and if I hold shield, you could see how long it lasts. Now, obviously, you can't see the hitboxes, but trust me, it lasts quite a while. And then, just to show here, it freezes them, does like 10 damage. Of course, they can mash out. Of course, everyone's gonna mash out. You kind of have to guess when they're gonna mash out, but you could do things like forward airs for multiple chances to hit them, up airs or up E's if you want to be a little riskier to get like stronger hits. But most of the time, you're gonna do like blizzard them, and then most of the time you're probably gonna do fairs because you have like multiple chances to hit them. But you know how it is. I don't know like the full mix-up tree on the ice, but I do know it's about half damage while they're in the ice, and then when you break out at different timings, it's kind of like the mix-up tree on both sides because everyone's gonna try to break out as soon as they realize they're frozen. It's a good 10 damage. I think it's gonna be pretty good over the ledge because it lingers for a while and moves that last for a while. Just good to like cover like ledge get ups or just jumps and stuff. It could just linger for a while, so that could be good. So I think Fire is mainly useful from a distance. Thunder is interesting. I think it's going to be notably the best one for edge guarding specifically. And I think Blizzaga is going to be the best one for ledge trapping. That's the vibe I'm getting from each of them so far. So I'm pretty confident that's at least half of that's going to be true in the long term. So those are my initial thoughts on those moves. And now to talk about his special moves. His up B is pretty strong. But to show it on the ground, it kills at 110, for example. But if I'm on the ground here at like 100, keep in mind, this is with no DI. So obviously if you're DIing like down at an angle, it's not going to be quite the same. The up B is pretty good. It comes out in frame 9. Frame 9 is the close hit. Probably frame 10 is like the further hit. So it's pretty respectable out of shield. Of course, you could do it backwards. And after you do hit it, oh, by the way, if this was Battlefield, I would barely land on a top Battlefield platform. Can't fall through, but I could also do this and even do that. So I could do 1, 2, or 3 hits. To talk about side B, I'll talk about side B in a second, but the short version is your first side B has to be the regular side B. You have to do it in a straight line, and the other ones can be in any direction. I'll talk about that in a second, but basically, you up B, and then you have to do one side B to the side, or you up B, and then you just fall down. Your options are either up B and fall down, or up B and do one side B to the side, which you could also do anywhere from one side B to 3 side Bs. So those are the options you have after you up B. It might even be best to just always do that after there. But, you could see how, like, if you get, like, a jump read up here, like, let's say they're scared of Sora's forward air and down air. Let's say you're edge guarding them, and they're scared of your forward air and down air. And then they try to double jump over you. But, oh, no, you read it. And now you might kill them at, like, 80% because they're near the top of the screen. Like, you could go for these types of mix-ups and conditioning and stuff. You could play the short game, but you could also play the long-term conditioning game as well. There's different ways that you're going to be able to play. And it's going to have some good edge guarding depth, I think. So I think the up is pretty solid. It kind of reminds of a Link one, but it definitely is good for killing upward. And the fact that you can side B out of it, but you have to look. If I up B and then wait and then side B, waiting that long still work? Let me wait a longer. Okay, see, I tried to wait a little bit longer in side B and it didn't work. So you can wait a little bit in side B, but you can't wait more. You can't wait more than that amount, as I just showed there. And now I'm going to talk about his side B, since the up B goes right into the side B. Side B, it comes out on frame 17. You could do up to 3 hits. Oh, that took my jump. It comes out on frame 17. I think you could do every 28 frames apart or so. If you keep mashing the B button, it homes in on them. Or if you hold the B button, it homes in on them. So mashing B and holding B, it homes in on them. Or you could just do this, and then like I could hold. Oh no. Okay, so I have to. Even if I hold the direction, I have to like not be mashing it because the mashing will over. So even if let's say I'm holding, let's say I up B them. Let's say I side B them, and I'm holding up and left because I don't want to combo. Let's say I just want to get my hit and run. So I'm gonna hold up, left, and mash B. Oh no, but they prioritize in that case. The mashing over prioritizes the way you're holding. So if you want to like escape, and you don't want to chase after them for some reason, for whatever the reason, side B, wait, and then do your Bs. You can't mash because the mash will automatically prioritize the homing attack. Just like holding it will automatically prioritize. So the homing takes priority over everything. So if you don't want to, make sure not to hold or mash if you don't want to home in. That's very important because that takes priority. So yeah. and then you just wait. You can go any direction. The first side B will always be a straight line. Now, I do think this is going to have a lot of mix-up. Just to show you how low you can go, I'm going to try to recover without using my up B. I'm going to go below the magnifying glass. Okay. Wasn't quite the best. So let's try from here. And see, I was still able to make it. That's without even using a double jump and without using the up. That's just from side B alone. That's without using double jump and without using the up B. So that's pretty darn good. And of course, you could do things like this and then like do that. There's these different mix-ups, you know. Oops. It takes a little. It's not quite as fast as like say a Sephiroth up B doing this, for example. But you know, you have some mix-ups you can do. So yeah. That's pretty much my thoughts on this. I think this is good for recovering, but I don't think, like, if you chase somebody off stage, like, it works in that scenario, but there have been other scenarios I've tested where, like, sometimes it just, like, if they're down here, it might just miss because it aims at where they see you, but then you're committed to that direction. Sometimes it's not going to work. But if it's, like, a combo, of course it will. So, yeah, I think it's good for the mix-ups, and the thing is, let's say somebody's trying to edge guard you, and they know, oh, after Sora up Bs, he has to go in a straight line for his first side B. Like, they could do that, and that would be smart. However, as I just showed earlier, you don't actually have to even use the up B. So if they're waiting for the up B to side B and you do side B first, well, then you can mix up your second and third hits, as I said. So another thing you could do, let's say go up way off stage. If I hold up left and mash B, that whole recovery I did was me holding a 45-degree up and left on the control stick and just mashing B mindlessly. That's just to show if, like, oh, you don't want to worry about, like, your recovery. Well, you can just do that. Also, if I go up, that happens. And, yeah, you could pretty much go any angles you want. And it's pretty cool. You have some mix-ups. You do have a bit of landing lag, though, but, yeah. And, of course, you know, if all three hits hit, you know. Oh, whoops. It's not really good. It's not really for the killing. You don't really use this for the killing. It's mainly just like, oh, cool, I have all these recovery mix-ups. That's, in my personal opinion, the best use. So, yeah, and now to talk about the counter. His counter, I don't know how long it's active exactly. I didn't test in detail, but I know it comes out on frame 7. The total time is around 51 frames, and it lingers for around 25 frames. So about half of the moves is active. It doesn't hit behind you, and sometimes it doesn't protect his feet. I don't know, so it's kind of weird. But it's kind of interesting. A lot of people would like be like, oh, well, the counter is broken because it hits them away. But, like, okay, so I was like, well, let's test that. Let's see how broken this is or is not. So just to show, oh, it's to know, it does anywhere from 9 to 30 damage on the counter, and it has about a 1.5 time, you know, multiplier. So it's respectable in power. And when it hits you sideways. So if you get hit by the counter on an edge guard, you are dead. But it's not quite as broken as it seems on stage. So let me just show you a quick example of what I mean. So if I do something like this. Oh. Let me make sure the setup works. Give me 1 second. You can see it doesn't always work. It's kind of interesting how that works, but look. So, but sometimes it does work. Sometimes it does work, and then he hits them anyway. And then I don't know. It's kind of weird, and inconsistent. On this move, this usually happens. But just to show, so let's just show what it happens like if it does hit. I'll just have him do like forward smashes or something. See, it sends sideways. As I said, it varies on the move. Like I tested this on like a computer Lucina. And, like, the computer Lucina, you know how they don't do up-Bs very well? They would just up-B high, and then I would counter it. Standing on stage, I would counter, and it would hit Lucina. But that's because the computers, you know, suck at doing Lucina's up-B. And then I just hit him for free. But then I tested it with 2 controllers. Sometimes Lucina got hit. Other times, the counter activated, and what you saw with Mithra. And then sometimes, like, my feet got clipped. It was kind of inconsistent. So it's just one of those things where it's really, really, really good when it does land. But it's kind of inconsistent. And it's one of those things you're just gonna have to lab. Like it might work in this matchup, or it might not work in this matchup, or in this matchup it may or may not work. It's more inconsistent than you'd expect. So yeah. With that said, I think I went over all of Sora's moves and attributes. He feels like in my opinion, he feels like an above-average character, and I'm definitely gonna explore him. I'm definitely gonna explore him more. He feels really fun, and I think he's gonna have a lot of potential on like the 50-50s, the edge guards, and just floating around. Oh, by the way, his weight value is 85, so he is indeed heavier than Sephiroth by 6 units. So yeah, this is my review on Sora. The Kingdom Hearts series, the last DLC, until maybe next year when they announce DLC Package 3. I'm sorry, we made so much money, we're just going to do another package. No, I'm just kidding. But who knows? You never really know. But, well, that was a doozy, but I hope you guys enjoy my analysis. As, I've been spending hours on this, studying, preparing for it and whatnot. I hope you guys enjoy it. I'm definitely going to enjoy the character. I'm definitely going to make more YouTube videos on the character. I'm going to stream it on my Twitch, twitch.tv/MVG. Give me a follow. Subscribe if you like the content. I'm having a bunch of emotes as well being made. And if you see above my name, metafy.gg, if you go to that website, you could sign up from coaching from myself, and I can help you get better, whether it's Sora or just Smash Ultimate in general, Melee, Nickelodeon, whatever you want, and I can help you guys get better. Definitely check that out in the YouTube description. Speaking of that, please consider taking 5 seconds to subscribe. Click the bell icon, like the video, and comment, because that'll help the YouTube algorithm. You know how it is. Anyway, guys, I hope you guys enjoyed. Thanks for watching the video, and I'll see you guys later.